Hey y'all, my name's Troy Dooley. This may be the hardest video that I've ever put together. But right now we're raising funds, and that's how you found this video, is you're on a GoFundMe page. We're raising funds for a family whose father and grandfather was murdered and then basically torched. The trailer that he lived in on this beautiful 5 acres in the country was set ablaze after he'd been shot. And by the time the police showed up, there was nothing anybody could do but stand there and just watch as the fires burned. After the fire department showed up and everything was taken care of, at first they said there's no bodies, there's no one here. And Raymond's son said, yes, in the bedroom. The fire had been so hot that there were little remains left. It's taken us this long just for the medical examiner to finally be able to piece together through some fingerprints and at least some reports from metal plates that Raymond had put in his back, had finally been able to make a positive identification so that the family can lay his remains to rest. The hard part is when you've got a 5-year-old granddaughter. Raymond and I shared a granddaughter, Raylyn Dooley. She's just a feisty little thing and probably thinks we're both grumpy, but her first words were, "Why can't I see Papa?" It's tough when you're trying to explain to a 5-year-old what happened. Now Raymond leaves behind 2 beautiful daughters and a son. His son has epileptic seizures, and Raymond was not just his dad but his best friend. And we've got ongoing medical costs now that have to be taken care of, somewhere close to $1,000 a month. These kids have no home. The home burnt down. We've now got to raise the land, put a new home on it, make sure there's enough funds for at least a year to 2 years worth of medical to take care of Bubba. And because the system actually broke down, because there had been extenuating circumstances to show that the person that murdered Raymond had mental illness, had already been the suspect, eyewitness suspect in at least 2 other arson attempts, but had been let out on bond, never put under psychiatric evaluation. They were able to wreak havoc, not just on Raymond's immediate family, but also on their family. You know, there's no one that gets left behind that's not a victim, whether it's a young 5-year-old or it's the actual kids. So I ask for your support right now. We're going to raise the funds somewhere around $150,000. It's going to take about $50,000, maybe a little more, a little less, to get the land back in shape, to get them a place to live. We've been able to find a motor home for them to live in temporarily, but we've got to get the property cleaned up. We've got to find a new home to put on this for them and hope that the memories that they make now will replace the sorrow and the anguish and the hurt. We also have the continuing medical that we want to take care of for Bubba so that he can get his meds. He doesn't have to worry about it, especially through the probate situation. Everything in the home burned up. Even the lockbox that was supposed to be fireproof, where Raymond kept all his important papers, burnt to a crisp, and there's nothing. The time and energy that it's going to take to find, did he have life insurance, who was the beneficiary, who has the beneficiary on the bank account, stuff like that. And Raymond, he was on Social Security, he was on his pension, just a good old boy like most of us watching this. So the family wasn't left with a lot of cash to do business with. So they need our help. We're also going to be talking to an attorney to see if they can give us guidance on how to get the system fixed. Regulations were not followed exactly, and that's a tough one. And some of you that watch my videos know that that's part of my frustration that I see in the world today is we have all these regulations and yet somebody is usually dropping the ball. And in this case, by dropping the ball, an innocent man was murdered and burnt to death. And that's what really sucks. This didn't have to happen. So we need your support. You can use the GoFundMe link right here. Give us the support to take care of this family and get them back on their feet. And then try to help us fight to make sure that regulations, not just in the state of Florida, but at a federal level, help to protect the innocent and find help for the mentally disturbed so that we don't have situations like this taking place. Thank you.